Okay, hey, so how are you? It's like 1 o'clock here, a.m. I don't know, I kind of been up through the night here and I didn't go out and I had did a video last night and I cut it off and I was supposed to come back to finish it and so I took a turn. And since I took a turn, I decided to finish it tonight. So this will be the part 2 video from last night when we left out talking about love, okay? Um, so whoever that's new to my channel here, this is my YouTube channel. I'm Lord Shiva, by the way, and this is my YouTube channel. And I had made a lot of videos in the past. If you ever go to my channel, you'll know that. I have still plenty more I never loaded on, and I will eventually, because they're all over timeless. I've always just recorded ahead of time because my message or information that I give is not some of your it's it depends. It's kind of a mixture, which is good. Okay, it's a mix of a lot of different information. Okay, but all correlating in the timelines of evolution, or just it gives you what you need to either climb up from the bottom or go up to the top, or come down from the top and go to the bottom. Okay, as above so below. So that's pretty much what it sums up to be, a message about as above so below, because whatever happens does not happen here before it happens there. It has always happened there before it happened here, even though you were never aware of that. You've been told lies on top of lies, and to where everything became a fog, and then you were in a delusional mindset because you didn't know what was what at that point. Okay, and you still don't if you're not seeing outside of the matrix that you're in, or the box that you see, that you believe yourself to be in, or how you see the world as it is when it isn't. Okay, so that means you're still dead, walking around as you are alive. You're not, but you think you are. You're really not. Okay, and you're still moving around in the realms of hell, because we all come here and we're born in hell, if you want to call it hell. Hell is really just the underworld, but it ties underworld ties into quite a bit there. Okay, so we don't want to get into that because I've got some information on it. One day I'll talk about more. But tonight we're talking about love. So welcome to whoever that is here to watch the video or to see the video. I welcome everyone, whoever wants to, have interest in what I'm saying, or listen to the video, whatever way you want to call it. Okay. But so we were talking about love. We were talking about how much you have to be in order to become unconditional love. To become unconditional, which is source. Source is unconditional love, and that means source is this small, and yet source is this big, right? So that's how you have to become. Okay, in order to receive, that's a lot of love, because you have to you have to be able to fall in love with the smallest of source, and yet in the biggest of source, which is that's a lot. Okay, so in order to bring that kind of love into your heart, and to become that, because that's what you will become that. Okay, and in order to become that, you have to really go. You have to evolve, be like in a way that never was and never would have been if you haven't never walked that walk. It's like you just can't just take it all in. It's like eating the elephant. That's why I put it away. Thank you, your angels and my guides. But it's like eating an elephant. You have to take one bite at a time. Imagine eating that elephant, trying to eat this, you just gog it down. And, so that's what it would take to be to evolve into unconditional love, okay? And because when you begin to come away from the everyday mundane life that you think life is all about when it really isn't, and you start to see the true way of source, or the true source of energy, which is everything is, okay? Everything is energy. So are you, so are me, everything, no matter what you are. Your energy, frequency, moving, because you are source in the conscious of source. You are the conscious of source. You're the thoughts of source in the conscious of source. What you are a thought, and you evolve in the conscious of source. And so inside of conscious of source, there's a lot of thoughts in there, okay? And yeah, there are plenty, okay? And they're all different shapes and colors and sizes. Yeah. And so in order to fall into complete love, which is of source, which is source, and to become what source is, which is love. And as I said, love is not a word. It's a frequency of essence, okay? And that's the only way I can describe it right now. It's a frequency of essence, and that's a lot, okay? So you have to, like I say, be as source as is whatever that is of source, regardless of what the thought looks like or what it smells like, is still source. And therefore source is, it does not love itself, right? Of course it does. So you would be in that same way as whatever color it is, whatever size it is, whatever manner, way that it looks or smell. You'll become as source, love and of that, of whatever it is, okay? So, and then now I wanted to, I can't really, I hope you guys, I hope I don't look a horrible mess, because I can't really see, I can't see myself. I can, but I'm blurry, because I need to get a new, I just need to get my eyes healed, to get new eye, I don't want that, I just want to heal my eyesight. And right, these ones here is these are made to improve my eyesight, but it hasn't got there yet. So I don't wear them as I need to. That's the problem. I need to wear them more often, so that they can improve my eyesight, because this is what they're made for. So anyway, so let me tell you this story about, and it has a lot to do with love, and what it is it just demonstrates the love of God or source. You call it God, and I'm gonna call it God this time, okay? But it demonstrates the love of source of God, because in the Bible, I remember it says something that's sort that I, the Lord God, I bring life. I bring life, or something on that sort. Then it says, and I do evil, or something. Okay, I can't remember the full scripture, and I didn't look it up. I should have, and I probably can, but. It says, and I do evil. I, the Lord God, do all these things. But that is that is so. However, when it says Lord God, I'm myself a lot more in a agreeable mind or reasoning, because I don't see source as you see source. Whoever sees source as God. Okay, I don't you know um, I don't feel that in my heart. My love of source, and how I view source, and how source is to me is what it is, energy, and is everything, and everything is source. Okay, that's how I see it, and that's what God would be, as you would say God. That's what God would be. Okay, but in that energy, there's forms of source formed out into a physical, or not all bodies are physical, but just a way of seeing it, I guess you could say, a form where it can be either touched or felt, or at least looked on. Okay, so that's source does that, and that's how source everything is made. Okay, because it comes out of the energy of source, and whatever comes out of source is a resource, right? So, but that scripture, fits very perfect when it said, "I, the Lord God, do I am love, and I give life, and then I also do evil." Let me see, can I get it here? Well, I created, that's what it says, I create evil. Okay. Now, I form light, he formed light, and he create evil. Okay, but it says a few more sentences or whatever scriptures in between that. So, and it says he created. So, and that has taken many people by surprise, because they never would have thought that. But here, through this story, I'm going to see if I can demonstrate this creating of evil through this story, because God will do this in order to get this. Okay, well, I don't like to say but God will do this in order to get this to happen, or whatever. So in this movie, it was a princess and a prince. And they lived in two different villages. And these are little Nigerian movies that I watch, and they over in Nigeria, but they good little movies, and I watch them. So they most of the time they talk about the worlds, okay. But so in those worlds, villages, a king and a queen, whatever they have their sons, it's a prince and a princess. In those families, they are allowed to go out and marry whoever they want to, providing that they can see that it is beneficial to the throne, or to the prince, or whatever way they acknowledge themselves. So they can marry a poor or rich. It doesn't matter. They can marry inside of their kingdom. They can marry into another person's kingdom. It just is up to them and their parents, or whatever, how the family, the whole. And they have counseling and stuff like that, counsels. But and what they do, because like you have the villages, the camp, they call it the the camps. I think they call them camps or compounds. They call them compounds. You have the compounds of the rich and the kingdoms and kings and queens and all that. All those is like on this side, and then you got a poor is on this side. So okay, they're not really mixed together, but the rich can go over to where the poor is at and visit them and do whatever they want to do if that's up to them. But I don't think the poor can just go in theirs if they just on their own, unless they invite it. And they do invite them sometimes, for whatever reasons. They have events for them to, and give them things, to help them. But not all of them. Some of them are mean and some of them are nice. It depends, okay? They're not all nice, to give to the poor. Some of them they shun the poor. A lot of them do, but very few of them do help them. So in this movie, this was a nice king, a nice prince, and a nice princess. They did not know each other, of course. And if they would have, they probably would have been set up to get married, and they would have wanted to marry each other because she was very pretty and he was very handsome. So, but she woke up one morning and she was just bored, and she said, "Hi, I'm so bored. I have no." And the mother said, "Well, why are you so bored?" She said, "Because I don't have no friends or anyone, to be with." And the mom, I don't know if mom told her to help her feel better, but something about your maids or your friends or whatever, And she said, "I don't want them to be my friends because they don't really be like friends. They're my maids or whatever." So they would go over into the poor area and visit if they want to. It's up to them. So one day she just decided she was going to go over there and visit the poor side and just kind of walk there. And she's seen these two girls coming down the street on their way to the market, and she comes, "Hey girls, where are you guys going?" And then the girl said, "We're going to the market or something." And she said, "Oh no, you're not. You're going to be my friends today." And she actually made them her friends, and they hung out together. I mean, really, totally hung out. Like they were totally friends. He took them home to the palace, and she treated them like they were her friends, and she went and visited them, and they just kind of just truly was friends. Except one of the girls was very mean, even though she not let on to the princess that she was. She was not only mean, she was just plain evil, Anything the prince said or did or tried to give to her behind her back, she was like, no. I don't trust them. I don't want Nancy, whatever. I don't want to from them. But she just did all kinds of crazy little things, okay? So, and then the boy prince, he was just like his father. He loved a good voice, a sound of a good voice of a singer, and that was just something that extremely was very attractive to him. He loved his mother's voice, and he would just kneel down at her feet when he heard her singing. So he would go over and visit. He liked to go watch the boys swim. So the poor kids go swimming, and it's something how they swim in that pool that they swim in, the pool of water. They drink it, and they wash their clothes in. Everything comes out of that pool of water. It's very sad to me that happens, and this is true. I mean, I'm not saying this just because it's a movie. It is actually true life that happens over there. Okay, in Africa. But the prince was getting a little bored for being single, and he was looking for a bride, someone he could marry, okay? And so he went over one day, and he kind of came up on a girl planting something in her field or something, and she was singing, and he heard her voice, and it just caught his ear very, he caught his attention, and he invited her to come to the village to sing for him, but she rejected him for some reason, and that's not like that to happen. That you really shouldn't, to reject the prince, but and it was a surprise for that she did it, but he just, like, okay. He said, well, maybe it just takes you some time. You take a couple of days and then think about it and come. But for whatever reason, she was kind of stubborn. She didn't come. And then, as the story went on, finally, her mother talked to her to go in because she kept rejecting her mother. And then her mother finally said, you know what? You may let this one thing that could possibly be the best thing of your life slip away because of your you rejecting to go and sing for the press, and that could be your ticket out, ticket home, whatever. And you have no idea what could happen here, but you're so stubborn and don't want to go. So she thought about it, said, maybe I should go. And so she decided to go. Okay, so, let me get some water. So, then she went finally, and she sang, and then I think his parents hired her to come and work for them, okay? And so the prince, I don't know, it just wasn't clicking quite like it should have been, even though she was working there, it just didn't quite click. And I think it was kind of disappointing to him in one sense that she rejected him from the beginning and then took her forever to come there and sing, and I think he just was like, excuse me. So he kept sort of looking in one sense. And the princess was just having fun with her friends. I mean, she just enjoyed them. Because she and her mother warned her though about going to the village and being gone for such a long time. And one day, and she always, you take her maids, you never leave your maids. But she kept fussing with her mother, said, no, I don't want my maids with me because then they're just with me, and I don't want that because I want to be my friends. My friends can protect me. And she said, no, your friends are not your friends in that type of way, and they're not going to protect you, And so she's like, no, mother, because I don't want those maids with me and then they interfering with me and my friends. And so she disobeyed her mother, went on and went with her friends without her maids when she was never supposed to. And so one day they went to that pool where they go to the water, and it was the real nice one and the mean one was with her. Okay, both of them. Just something. One of them was, the other one, she was just what you would call it, naive, I guess, and just allow her to push her around when she shouldn't have, because she did. And so, so one day they all went to the pool, her and the princess and the two girls, and then the prince somehow came by the pool because he wanted to see was the kids are swimming. And he heard them singing a song, and they caught his ear. And he was like, wow, who was that singing, man? Goodness. And then he got out and walked over there, and he seen the princess. She was looking pretty cute, and handsome, very pretty. And he's like, Princess, could I come talk with you for a second? And she said, oh, yes, I'll come. So she went over there. I think she was singing, but the girls had taught her the song. And he went to her, and she went over there to him, and he said, Princess, something, I'd like to marry you, something like that. I mean, he was very bold. But she's like, really? She's like, let me think about it for a day or so, But, I mean, he was handsome enough not to even turn it down. And then she just realized that he was the prince that lived in the next village, and she was the princess, and they should be together. But she said, well, let me think about it. I'll sleep on it a day or so here, And he said, okay, you'll get back with me, he said, or something like that. And the mean girl heard that, and she did not like that at all. She was like, excuse me. And when they seen the prince, I don't think they had ever seen the prince until that day, but they really liked how the prince looked, They was like, And she was like, oh, no, she ain't gonna be married. Excuse me, y'all, did you see that prince? Hell no, I ain't gonna let her be married to the prince. So she got just belligerent by herself. She really went kind of okay, and he wasn't, you know what I'm saying, the prince, what he did, think about it, and she did not have the best of features, you know, uh, to be attractive. It was probably because of, well, you know, she's such a mean person. But the other girl with her, she was, you know, digging on the prince too, but not so much as to overreact. She was kind of happy that he wanted to marry the prince and take her out, so she was happy for her, but not the mean girl, but she acted that she was. So she got really kind of, after they left the water and took the prince. When prince went home and they went home, and she was just talking really crazy, and how what she was going to do, and she wasn't going to let that prince get married to her, not over her dead body or her living body, whatever she wanted she called it, okay. And so she plotted up with the girl to kill the princess. And the girl went along with that when she, you know, shouldn't have, but she did, that they were going to kill the princess so that she would marry the prince, okay? She wanted to marry the prince, the ugly one. I mean, I shouldn't say that ugly one, but the mean one. She wanted to marry the prince after she had seen him. And so the prince had went home. The prince had went home after he had said that to her. He went on back wherever he was going. And so the next day come along, and they went back. The princess and the two girls went back to the pool again, and they were just out there because they had already plotted what they were going to do and plan around. And then their thing was to push her into the pool. And so they got her to come over to the pool some kind of way by saying, oh, come on, you can put your hands in it. She said, no, I'm not something when they're going to bite me. She said, no, I won't. It's not like it used to be. It's different. You can do it now. And so she did, and they pushed her in and then threw a brick on her, made sure she stayed down there. And from that point, it really terrified the younger, the nice girl, the nice friend, and really terrified her over it. And her parents was worried because it had went for a whole day and she hadn't got back, and they was kind of starting to really get worried. Found out later that she didn't take her maids, and then one night passed and 2 nights went past, and she hasn't come home, and something seriously done went wrong. The mother done went kind of, you know, really upset, and it was just horrible. And so one night, during these 2 nights here, the prince came out of her body, not her body, her spirit came out of the water and went to the nice friend's house and knocked on her door, and she's like, and so finally the girl opened the door, and she's like, oh, the what? And then the princess, whatever, she said, I don't know, Clarice or whatever, I don't know her name was, she said, my soul, my spirit needs to be freed, and you are the only one can do it. I need you to free me so my parents can give me a decent burial, and get my body and bury it. I need you to do this now. You need to go and get them and tell them about it. And she goes, no, I can't do it. And then she said, yes, you can. You need to do this because you can do it. You're the only one will do it. And my spirit, my body needs to be free so that my parents can get me and bury me. And so she disappeared, and the girl was like crazy. And then the mean girl came back to her the next day, and I think she was telling her about it. She said, she did not, excuse me, why, if that was the case, why she didn't come see me then? She said, I don't know, but you know, she said, but you know, I don't know, whatever. And she kind of went, you know, brushed her off. But then, let me see, I think they went back to the pool to get water, because they always had to go get the water from the pool too, you know. And they went over to the pool. By the time they got there, the prince was inside of a different body, like sort of, it was, you know, hologramic or whatever, but it was, she looked like a black lady, but she was like kneeling down like she was doing some laundry, and I can't remember. I can't remember. I think, well, they went, okay. What happened, I think somewhere along the way, before they went back to the water, the prince had came through, and he was talking to his father about finding him a girl. After, let me see, after he found out the prince was missing, let me think. Yeah, I think he did. I don't know if he found out she was missing at that point. I think he did. Because he wouldn't have been looking for nobody else. But so he was thinking about the other nice girl that was with the mean girl. And he said, talking to his friends, maybe he said she's a nice person. Maybe I should no, that wasn't that. Let me think about it. Anyway, I can't remember that part right there because when he went, I think because she was already back at that water by that time. Right. Okay. What happened was they went back to the water, and the prince was there in a different body and was acting like she was washing clothes, but she was there to see what was going on. But I think the prince had talked to her somewhere prior to that, because the mean girl wanted to kill the nice girl to keep her from the prince too. That's what was going on. But when they got to the pool, she couldn't kill the nice girl because somebody was there. So she couldn't get her to get pushed in, okay? But that was her intentions. And then finally, I'm trying to think, but somewhere along the way that this prince came to the pool to look for the princess, right? And he ran up on this, meet the nice girl, and she was like, because he kind of startled her. She was, and he said, "Are you okay?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm okay." But she was kind of like, already losing it from her mind from what she did. And so when he kind of looked at her, and he was kind of like, okay, she may be okay for marrying, So he talked to his father about it, and the father says, well, I don't know, see what happens here. And then I think he had already knew that the mean girl was mean because she had tried to get him to come and visit with her. And she said, because they supposed to be friends too, and she said, well, are we friends? He goes, no. He said, yes, we are friends, but I gotta go. He said, I can't come visit with you now. Come on. Yeah, she kind of turned like a mean person, trying to pull him to go to her house. He's like, what is wrong with this girl? She done lost somebody. And he said, turn me loose. And then he went on, got in his car and left. From that point, when he was talking to the father about the other nice girl, he said, well, you sure that nice girl ain't like the mean girl? Because, they're hanging together. He said, no. And so, so he did talk to her about maybe, getting together and stuff like that. And she was still kind of under this thing that had happened, but she did kind of, I think, said maybe she'd agreed to, get to know him, whatever. But that mean girl was not having that if she could help herself, right? And so, after these 2 or 3 days had passed, this girl lost her mind so much that she had to go into the village and tell her parents. So she went there and she fell out and just wailed out, that they killed their daughter. And so, it was really terrible at that time. Everybody wanted to kick her ass and kill her back, and all kinds of things came out at that point. But during this time, when it all came out, because I think somewhere along the way she did run into that princess again, who told her to go and make sure she go tell her parents about it. But and that really drove her crazy then. Okay, so everybody just kind of in the uproar now that they found out that they killed this princess. Then finally, the mean girl was coming to find the nice girl after she had found out that she went to the palace. And she's like, what the, And as she was walking down the road, the princess appeared in front of her, and she was like, what? And then the prince said something to her about her, what she had did to her and everything, and she know and whatever, and I forget what else she said, but she went on, disappeared, and then the mean girl kept going to I think she went on to the palace. But when she got there, the princess appeared back in front of her, and she began to lose her mind from that point, as the princess was talking to her in her spirit, and she started losing her mind. She starts telling off everything. She's like, I killed her, and it's something. This is something really crazy. And finally, they just got her and arrested her, and everything was because the prince. He was gonna kill the other girl for what he did. The king, at least, was gonna kill the other girl, but he decided not to. He decided not to kill her. And then, as all this had happened, then the nice girl was just crying and just devastated over the whole thing, and she was talking to the king about it, him and the queen. And then the king, the mean girl wanted she said this, but it wasn't true. But she said that she wanted the nice girl to marry the princess because she wanted her to get back something that she said it was this king and his whole soror or whatever had taken her parents away from her sometime long time back and took everything that they ever had. Some kind of stuff like that happened. And she said that's why she said you deserve to be with that prince. But I don't think she really knew what it, even though she told her that was her reason, a motive. So the nice girl was telling the king about it, about what the mean girl said, and so I think he did remember something, but he said to her, he said, you know what? He said, oh, I was going to kill you. He said, but I changed my mind. And he said, now that we don't have a daughter, you're going to be my daughter, or our daughter. And she was like, oh, really? And she, she was a poor person. Okay, she lived by herself. She had no parents or no family. She was like happy, extremely. And then the prince father told him, sometime, I'm gonna have to paraphrase it. He said, sometime that what you're looking for, you already done seen it and it's been right in front of your face the whole time, though you may have overlooked it for whatever reason. And he was steering him back to the girl who could sing, because he felt like that would have been the perfect one and the right one for him. And it was, because that was the one that was meant to be for him, though he didn't know that at that time. But once he kind of adhered to what his father had said to him, he thought about it and he kind of felt that too, And she was like his twin flame, okay, if I can use that. And so he decided that he would take interest back to the singing girl who was, really the one that was meant for him. But the story is to show you how one thing evil turned out to be two things good. Okay, so that was the scenario of the story, because they killed the princess to keep the prince from marrying her, and the prince ended up with the one he should have married, and which was really the one that was meant for him. And then the nice girl who lost her family way some time back, and all the things that they had in kingdomship, and had no one. And then in the end of that, the king took her in as his daughter. You see, so something extremely good and blessed came out of something that was considered to be equal. You see, so that was the thing. So that is an exchange of love that way. Okay, that was love. In all of it was love. The love of the source, moving things around in order to get one thing done for whatever that is needed. See, so okay. All right, so hope you enjoyed it, because it took me a minute to kind of get it out there for you. But I just had to tell you about it because it did go along with the love, so you could see how source is in love. Love is, even though you see it as evil, it's not in source, it's love. Okay? All right. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and it's getting late. I'm gonna go to bed now, and I think that's it. So have a good day and good night, good evening, whatever. I love you guys all. I love you.